paper, Tolga from Love is Blind Germany wanted a conservative, submissive wife. And yet somehow he ended up engaged to Sheila, the liberal career woman. Does this surprise me? No, it doesn't. Conservative women are being pick-me's to get conservative men, but the conservative men don't want them. They want liberal women. And the common reasons that men give is that they find conservative women boring. They want excitement. They want debate. They like to be challenged. They like arguments. It gets them hot and bothered. Conservative men get aroused when they argue with liberal women. And this is something that I have experienced. Politically, I'm very left-leaning. And in the 2020 Black Lives Matter movement era, my YouTube channel was very politically charged. I kid you not, I would be going back and forth with white conservative men, and they would literally just slip in there casually. Yeah, you're hot, but your opinion is wrong. Just so strange. But you know what? I would entertain it because my YouTube channel was monetized, honey. But yeah, men will literally use anything to get their kicks off. They love arguing with women. They love problems. And that's why Tolga picked Sheila over Hannah. He liked the pushback. He liked being challenged. Hannah, being so agreeable, didn't do it for him, didn't do anything for him. Personally, I feel like he was pretty much indifferent to this experiment, to be honest. I feel like he probably would have been happy to walk single, but he just thought, if I'm going to get engaged to anyone, it's going to be Sheila. But one thing to note is that this whole excitement, arguing, that's in the beginning. That's in the beginning. And I feel like a lot of liberal women who get with conservative men or kind of centrist, conservative leaning men, or even quote unquote liberal men who have conservative views here and there, they also like the excitement of the arguments, of the challenge, of, potentially being the one to convince a man of something, of their intelligence. I don't think this is a one-way street. But ultimately, if a woman is seeking to be in a relationship with a man, resources are limited in terms of finding a liberal man. Especially if you are desperate. If you got to the desperate phase, resources are limited. But anyway, Hannah kind of likes it. She likes the back and forth. She likes the challenge. She's already in a male-dominated industry where she's thriving. So I guess, getting into a marriage is kind of the same thing for her. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This is the honeymoon phase. Eventually, they start planning their main goal, which was the challenge of breaking you down and turning you into a submissive woman. And we can already see Tolga trying to do that to Hannah. And we see the starting process of this on their engagement moon. He's already making comments like, you're going to have to cook for me. You're going to have to do this for me. And he's also starting the emotional manipulation. He's saying things to trigger her into getting emotional and vulnerable. Namely, he brings up that, oh yeah, I know it was hard for you when I was in the pods, basically going back and forth between you and Hannah. And, he gets his desired goal. She starts to get emotional and she starts thanking him, saying, oh, I'm glad that you're being empathetic about that. Little does she know, he's already running game on her. Love is Blind very much encourages people to get vulnerable in the pods and stuff like that. But I just feel like this is the way for the men to take advantage. Men love to prey on women's emotions. So for me, the only emotion you're going to see for at least the first 5 years of marriage is happiness, laughter, and joy. Nothing else, babe. Because that's how they get you. That's how they get you. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, lady. So like I said, Tolga is already putting in the work to break Hannah down. Then he starts talking about he's not sure about this. He's not sure about this. And he's telling her, my family are very important to me. My mother, my sister, they're going to have to basically approve of you or I can't get married to you. So he's already trying to tip the scales to say, you need to do this and you need to do this and you need to do this, or I'm not marrying you because I'm the decision maker. Hannah had already tried to balance this out in the pods where he was basically saying, I need to be sure, I need to be 100% sure. And she was saying, hold on a minute, you're not the only person a part of this decision. I am too. Basically telling him, I can choose not to get engaged with you because you're dilly-dallying. So he made note of that, and this is him now trying to tip the scales back in his favor. And I think his plan is to basically get Hannah to beg for his approval and bend to his whim. I hope she clocks him. I hope she sticks up for herself. But I feel like this is Togla's objective, to make her into a submissive wife. Like I said, in the beginning, it might be fun to go back and forth and do the arguing. But sooner or later, it's going to become tiring and it's going to breed resentment on both sides. So personally, I just feel like even if these relationships last long term, it's not going to be a happy marriage. So if you're going to opt for this, as a woman being liberal and getting with a man who you know is not liberal, just know unhappiness is coming your way, babe. You're going to be doing up 50-50, and then you're going to be doing all of the chores, and then you're going to be doing all of the childcare. That's the future, babe. So yes, I guess we'll see how this goes, but I hope that Sheila gets out of there because it's not looking good. Togla is looking like a big red flag.